everybody, it's Miss Haley. I hope everyone is staying healthy and well during this drastically uncertain and could potentially be scary time, but we're not going to let it be scary. We are going to be conquerors, more than conquerors, warriors, not worriers. All of that being said, for those of you that don't know me, I'm the director and owner of the dance company, and some of you might not see me on a regular basis, but I just want you to know that you're all in my hearts, heavily, I might add. And I actually just did this video and it gave me some kind of an error. So yeah, I'm having to start all over from scratch. I don't know what happened, but I'm so happy to do it because everything that's about to come for these virtual classrooms is going to make us stronger. It's going to make us better as a studio. We're going to be more informed, better prepared in case something, God forbid, were to happen like this in the future. We will be more than capable of handling it. So for those of you that are able, please click on the link that I attached. It's the Dance Company of Minot Virtual Home Classroom Guidelines. Please print that off and just read through it as I go through the next, the information I'm about to go over. Please walk yourself through that sheet while I'm talking. For those of you that maybe don't have access to a printer or whatever else, just go ahead and take notes on the important things, and I'll point out what those important things are as I'm talking. So I'm going to go ahead and dive right in. First thing is everybody needs to download Google Calendar on your phone, okay? This is how you will know when your class is happening, which studio space your class is happening in, okay? Because the virtual classrooms are set up Studio 1, Studio 2, okay? Now, all of the recital division classes are set up relatively close to the time frame that they were at before. Most of the classes are a little bit shorter just because the attention span for most of our recital division classes, we were concerned that it would be an issue for a lot of the younger ages to stay connected for that long. So you'll see slight differences in scheduling due times the classes start and end, just because we didn't want to overwhelm them with how much time they're actually connected on camera. So please download Google Calendar and check for your class name, time, and which studio it's in. Hopefully you got that. Hopefully you had time to write that down. The next important piece of information is you need an email and a password for that Google Calendar account to see those classes. That email is dancecoparents@gmail.com. Again, dancecoparents@gmail.com. No periods, no spaces, no nothing. The password is all caps, dance parents, the number 2, the number 0, and then an exclamation point. Again, Dance Parents, all caps, the number 2, the number 0, exclamation point. Dance Parents 20, exclamation point. So dancecoparents@gmail.com, one more time. Dance Parents 20, exclamation point. Again, this is all on the print off. I'm just pretty much reading through it at this point. Parental requests and expectations. So this is going to be basically what we're asking of you to keep all of this flowing smoothly for our dancers. Please make sure your dancer goes to the bathroom or goes potty before class begins, which is pretty much the same as when you're at the studio. And during class time, please make sure for my older dancers, this is mainly for competitive, if you are using a phone, please do not text. Let it roll. You need to treat it like you are in the classroom, okay? So let's make sure we're not texting or getting on games or doing social media or anything else. We are there to have class, so let's make sure we're having class. Also, we're going to have 3 designated check-in points, okay? Because we want to make sure people aren't zoning off into La La Land while we're trying to teach. So the time frames of these check-ins are different depending on the age, but essentially we have a social connection and happy meter checkpoint where we're going to be checking in with the dancers to make sure they have a chance to connect with all of their classmates, okay? And then we're going to check everybody's happy meter. We're going to be like, how y'all doing today? Are we good? Okay, and then the second facet that we'll be checking in with is their well-being and their health, and these are spread out over the course of the class. So we're not just standing in front of a camera talking like this, being boring, giving directions to dance moves, right? We're being interactive. We're making sure everybody's staying focused just like they would in the classroom. So well-being and health, we're going to check in, make sure everybody's feeling okay. We have any tummy aches? We got anything going on that's weird? And then the last facet we're going to check is imagination and creativity. So we want to make sure that everybody is still, mainly for our little kids, but our big kids too, right? We want to make sure that we're not just standing there being drones or being robots, right? We want to make sure we're having a good time and that we're invested in the class. So those are the 3 check-in points that we're gonna have throughout the class. So you're not actually just gonna be sitting there being bored, okay? We're gonna check in with you. Like I said, the time frames are different, but at least every 10 minutes, 20 minutes, depending on the age, we'll be checking in and making sure everybody's okay. When it comes to the class setting, okay, this is actually one of the most important things. Parents, I'm needing you to do something super important. Please find one location in your home where they can maintain focus. And we're gonna call that the designated dance space, or DDS. So if you hear us reference on camera, are you in your DDS? Are you in your designated dance space? They need to be able to say yup at all times. So please make sure that you designate a dance space for them. More importantly than that, if you have the capability to plug whatever device you're using into the TV, that is a huge deal, because we are trying to make sure that when they stand, because they're going to have to stand far away from the camera for us to be able to see them from head to toe. All cameras, this is not on here, but make sure all the cameras, if you're using a phone or tablet, are flipped sideways, not up and down. And if we need to flip it up and down, we can, but I have a feeling we'll get more of what we need going landscape style. So all of that being said, just make sure that if you can plug your device into the TV, that would be really helpful, because we would like them to feel as connected as possible. So the bigger the dance environment, the better. So again, if you have a phone, you know, they're going to have to back up. They might not be able to see what we're doing. Just if you have the ability to do that, by all means, hook it into the TV. Moving on to classroom rules and procedures. So regular studio hair requirements and dress code are required. If you have questions about that, you can visit the homepage of the website. Our dress code is laid out there. I'm pretty sure it's laid out other places as well, maybe on the policy that you originally signed in your parent portal. Either way, competition, I think you know what your dress code is by now, but all the hair needs to be up out of the face, a bun if possible. If not, just get it out of the face, please. Ages 3 to 7. This is important, so you want to make sure you're writing this down. So obviously hair requirements and dress code are the same as when they're in the studio. Ages 3 to 7, no shoes are required. So we're talking about the 3 to 5-year-old classes and the 5 to 7-year-old classes. So we have Itsy Bitsy, Debut to Dance, Snazzy Jazz Ballerinas, and then the Combo Ballet Tap Jazz class. We do not need shoes for them. The 6 to 9-year-olds could probably handle it. If they want to wear their ballet shoes, that's fine. But they need to be able to like tie their shoes by themselves. So for those of the ones that have tap shoes and whatever else, we don't want to deal with that headache. So if they can't tie their shoes by themselves, so all of the classes ages 5 to 7, no shoes. But jazzy ballerinas can be an exception, that's fine. If they need to wear their ballet shoes, whatever, but no shoes for ages 5 to 7. For ages 7 plus, so we're talking more about evolution of dance and hip hop right now, they're fine to wear shoes. That's totally fine. As long as they can tie their shoes themselves for those classes, they're fine. Other than that, just, yeah, tying shoes and going through all of that is going to be kind of too hectic at this time. So hopefully that's well explained. If not, it's on this printout. Really important. This is almost as important as making sure they have a designated dance space. You need to make sure all distractions, please, are like turned off or put away. So like the TV, brothers and sisters, siblings, other family members, music that might be playing, any other tablet device, gaming system, their pets. Oh my gosh, I love dogs. I love pets. But can we please make sure they're put away? Just let's try to treat it like it's the classroom, okay? Because obviously the more distractions we have, the harder it's gonna be for us to do our job. And we wanna make sure you're getting your money's worth, and we are ready to kill it. We are ready to make sure that your dancer is like having a super fun time, but we can't do that if they're too distracted to even pay attention to begin with. So let's just work together on that, please. Once it comes to greeting, we're gonna greet all the dancers, we're gonna take attendance. Once everything has been completed and we're ready to start class, we're gonna ask that you mute the microphone on your device, because we can't have different conflicting audio sources back and forth. The only audio going 100% of the time will be us as the instructors. So make sure the mute button is pushed for your dancer. For the parents that want to peek in and such, that's totally fine. Just make sure you're not watching them so closely that you're actually like hindering them from paying attention. We want to make sure if you're going to supervise, let's supervise minimally. And if you need to help them with the mute button and this and that, that's totally fine. I want to also just kind of clarify really quick, when it comes to the mute button, they'll be pushing it on and off throughout the class time. So let's make sure we have someone there to help with the younger ones, or if that's just not an option, that's fine too. But like potty breaks and things like that, if somebody needs something, let's make sure I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit, but make sure they raise their hand. And we can obviously, if they have to like I have to go potty or whatever, that's totally fine. But the mute button is mainly just so that we don't have like a bunch of talking and screaming and whatever going on, just like it is in the classroom, right? Like when we're in the classroom, we don't want people screaming out about what they have for dinner and like unicorns and like ice cream and whatever else in the middle of class. So it's kind of the same really as the classroom, as nobody's really talking except the instructor, and it keeps things flowing nice and smooth. So mute button during class. And then those different 3 checkpoints that I talked about earlier, we'll make sure somebody's there, or if they're not old enough or whatever. During those 3 checkpoints, let's make sure we unmute so we can feel connected, okay? All of that being said, we'll make sure that we take plenty of potty breaks, unless we are on an actual break in the classroom. So because again, we are literally gonna do this in 10 to 20 minute increments depending on age. So if you're 3, we're not going to go longer than 10 minutes before checking in with you. So potty breaks, water breaks, whatever else, they're going to be taken care of. So I don't want you feeling like we're just going to be talking like this for long periods of time. We're going to check in with them to make sure if they need something that we're good to go periodically throughout the class. So we should be good on that. When it comes to the entirety of the class from start to finish, even while we're doing our breaks and different things like that, let's try to maintain the dancer in that designated dance space, the DDS. Like that's going to be the core goal, is to have everybody like in one spot every single week. It's the same. So let's make sure that's in their brain and they know where their designated dance space is. If they do need something, like I said, and we aren't in the middle of a break, have them raise their hand. If not, try to encourage them that, we are there to have dance class, right? And if they have something they want to say, or if they want to talk or whatever, they can do it on the next break. Like, let's save it for the next break, okay? Not that we don't care, but we have dancing to do, right? We have exciting things going on, so we don't want to interrupt too much. So all of that being said, the main reason I wanted to do this video, like I said, for those of you that maybe don't do well reading through information, I'm very visual, so I thought this video would help. But more than anything else, this Zoom situation, so I had everyone download the Zoom app and or create an account. So we're going to talk about phones and tablets first. Again, please plug it into the TV if you can, okay? Either way though, number 1, you want to create your Zoom account and activate that via email. So it'll send you an email, activate the account. Once you are in your account, now this will obviously be a few minutes before class starts, you'll go to the join button, which means you're going to join your class, and you'll enter your meeting ID. Now I've provided the meeting IDs on this printout that I included, that I have sent to all of you. So the good news is if you are in Studio One, you will be pink in Google Calendar. Your class will be pink. If you are pink, you'll also see on the printout the pink people, which are the Studio One people, have a specific code. So if you're in Studio One, that's the code you use. If you're in Studio Two, you have a different code. So you have 2 different codes, one for each studio. As long as you're paying attention to what your class color is in Google Calendar, you should not have any problems. I would recommend saving these studio IDs because they're not going to change. They will be the same every single week from now till the end of time, okay? Till these classes end. So Studio One has one ID, pink. Studio Two has an ID of its own, it's green, okay? So you should be able to follow all of that in Google Calendar. When it comes to, just really quick as a side note for competitive, you guys have major time frame changes. Recital division, like I said, is pretty close to what they've always been. Their classes don't really change much, but for competitive division, we couldn't have hour-and-a-half long sessions. So please make sure you pay close attention to Google Calendar's schedule and make sure you're doing whatever you need to do on the personal side of things for your own personal calendar, that your kid is tuned in at the right times for the right classes. So just make sure you're paying attention to that. So create Zoom account, activate via email, hit the join button, enter your meeting ID, and then you're going to enter your first and last name of your student. Again, keeping in mind this is for tablet and mobile. Once you enter the first and last name of your student, that kind of just lets us know who is logging in. You're going to see a screen that says, please wait, the meeting host will let you in soon. So that just means that you're waiting to be accepted into the class. We will accept you into the class, and then if you're on a phone or a tablet, you'll see a button that pops up. It says touch call using internet audio or dial by phone. Don't even pretend that the dial by phone doesn't even exist and click call using internet audio, because if you don't, we won't be able to hear you. So that's really important. Again, this is all in the printout. If you're using a computer or laptop, obviously, it's a little different. So I'm gonna walk through that quick. Create your Zoom account, activate it by email, same process. Log into the account online, click join meeting in the right-hand corner, and then the same waiting room screen will pop up. Once you're admitted, you'll have a screen that says, do you want this page to open? You have to allow the page to open, so just make sure you allow it. And then you'll also see admitted once you've been admitted into the class. So you'll have that waiting room area waiting as well to do. But once you're accepted, you'll be in the class, the video will start, and that's pretty much the end of it. So here is my deal, okay? I am so stoked. My staff is so stoked. We will be sending videos to every single class this week, just a video from the instructor addressing all of the girls by name, letting them know that they are loved, they are missed, and that they don't have to be missed because they're gonna see us every week from now until whenever God allows all of this to pass, which I am hopeful that he will, and we will have recital, and it'll be great. But we will be sending little love letter videos to all of the girls, either Monday or Tuesday. I'm not sure how the availability will work out with instructors, but they can look forward to that. They can look forward to a little greeting from their instructor. Just on a private, outside of the studio basis. And then in addition to that, we have super, super, super exciting rewards that we can do like over video platform that we can't like do in the classroom. So if you are like worried about your dancer not staying interested and not being able to have fun with this, wrong. It is going to be a freaking blast. Like kids are going to be like, we don't want to go back to the studio because it's going to be so fun. Okay. So for those of you that are worried about, well, I don't really know, if my dancer can stay focused and blah, 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 blah. If we end up having problems, we will address that when we come to it, but we have super exciting things coming for rewards to keep them interested. So different things like pajama day, funny socks day, like different ways that we can keep them wanting to come back every week. So we shouldn't have any problems with that. We want to make sure you're getting your money's worth in all facets. Okay. So for those of you over the next couple of days, we don't have recital division classes starting until Wednesday. The first competitive class starts tomorrow. So if you're going to have problems with anything, please, please, please don't hesitate whatsoever to reach out to me. Whether that's the Zoom thing or any other questions you have, I'd be happy to answer them. But I think it's pretty self-explanatory. We did a test run yesterday with family members and other people, the staff, other parents, whatever, and it works really, really well. The video quality is great, sound quality is great, so we shouldn't have any problems. But we have this week to try it out, and it's going to be awesome. And I cannot wait to see everybody. I will actually be joining in on all the recital division classes. Yeah, so I will be there to make sure if we're having problems that I can resolve things and put out fires really quickly so we can keep classes rolling. So it'll be really great. If anybody has questions, please, please, please reach out to me. In the meantime, may God bless and keep you very safe through this crazy and uncertain time. And I sincerely mean that from the bottom of my heart. And please stay loyal to your dance company family. I don't want to see anyone leaving. I really, really think we can make this a super special thing for these girls. Let's keep that normalcy for them. Let's keep that stability going. Let's remind them that life doesn't stop because of a virus. They can still see their friends. They can still have something to look forward to every week. I am so honored. I am so privileged to get the chance to see them every week and participate in this. This is going to be amazing. So to all of you, I appreciate you more than words can say. And I look forward to hearing from you, whether it's good or bad news. I'm hoping it's good news all the way through here. But if we're struggling with anything or whatever, do not hesitate to reach out to me. May God bless and keep you once more. And if you have questions, yeah, I'm here for you. See you later. I'm zoning out for now, But if you have questions, I will talk to everyone tomorrow, okay? So, God bless, and I'll see you later.